you so much, Rupa, for such wonderful 4 sessions. And what a better tribute to a computer engineer, than to start something on numbers. So just to kind of enlighten everybody, Rupa is also a computer engineer herself. So I thought, what better thing to kind of talk about any subject when it comes to vastness of that subject is to talk about that subject through numbers. And as we say, age-old wisdom. So again, the age comes in, and the age is again a number. So I thought everything is pointing me towards the numbers. And I thought I'll probably talk about what is so great in Mahabharata and how the numbers stack up. So to signify the mathematics and Mahabharata, it's not Mahabharata and mathematics. I think it's the math of Mahabharata is what probably I would like to call it. So written in 2-line verse with nearly 1,00,000 shlokas of 2 lines each. So nearly around about 2 lakh lines in total which have been written. It's probably the longest epic poem ever written in the age-old history. A 5,000-year-old probable numbers. Again, Rupa has said that these numbers are still being debated. So anywhere between 5,000 to 2,000, depending on which thought process you are coming from. And since the great Mahabharata, the great M, the population of the world has grown from 18 million to 7.7 billion today. So you can imagine the amount of time which has passed through since then. There is a lot of significance attached to number 18 in Mahabharata, and one of the reasons, or one of the point which everybody knows, is that it lasted for around about 18 days. There are 18 pravas in Mahabharata. There are 18 chapters in Gita. There are 1.8 million words in Mahabharata. There are 18 Akshuhanis, and Akshuhanis I will come later in terms of what they signify. And every digit in Akshuhani was always will add to 18. So that's the significance of 18 in Mahabharata for us to kind of go back and talk about what we know about. These are the basics. The armies probably were the biggest thing talked about in Mahabharata. There were obviously the Pandavas and the Kauravas, but every army in that time. I mean, we have seen so many Hollywood movies where we have seen Roman armies, and how organized they were, and how effective and how lethal they were. If you go back to the age of Mahabharata, the armies themselves were very, very organized. So every army had one patti, and the one patti comprised of one chariot with 2 people, one elephant probably with 5 to 6 people, 3 horses with 1 rider each, and 5 foot soldiers, which is the foot soldiers, the Padahata. So 3 ashwa, 1 gaja, 1 rath, or the chariot. So 3 pattis made was 1 senamukha, and 1 senamukha. So 3 pattis made 1 senamukha. 3 senamukha made 1 gumlas. 3 gumlas made 1 gana. 3 ganas made 1 wahini. 3 wahinis made 1 purthanas. 3 purthanas made 1 chamus. 1 chamus. 3 chamus made 1 anikins, and 10 anikins made a big fat Akshuhani, which comprised of 21,870 chariots, 21,870 elephants, 65,610 horses with obvious riders, and 1,09,350 foot soldiers. Now, just to kind of get back into the enormous numbers which were there, the Kauravas had 11 Akshuhanis, which comprised of 2,40,570 chariots, similar number of elephants, 7,21,710 horses, and 12 lakh plus foot soldiers. Compared to that, the the Pandavas had 7 Akshuhanis, comprising of more than 7,65,000 foot soldiers. Now, if you look at the vastness and the numbers, you can just imagine both armies facing each other, the number of people, and the real math, if you actually do it, comprised of nearly 4,040,000 fighters in front of each other. And the beautiful part was every warrior in the army was designated. A Rathi was a normal foot soldier or a horse rider, an Atirathi who could actually take on 10,000 warriors at any given point of time alone, a Maharathi who could take 60,000 warriors or 6,000 Atirathis at the same time, the Ati Maharathis who could take on 12 Maharathis at any given point of time alone, and there were some Maharathis. So Ati Maharathis were Arjuna, Maharathis were Shiva, Krishna, Rama, and it is said that there were never ever a case which happened where 24 Ati Maharathis came together. So it's still to be proven whether a Mahamarathi could have taken 24 Ati Maharathis at the same time. But again, this is something which kind of tells us the skills, the amount of strength and the ability of those warriors at that point of time. And the beautiful part is everybody were designated and provided for their kind of skills. And that's what the whole number game looks like. So you can imagine a Mahamarathis, how many people, how many warriors he could have actually. You can do your own math. How many warriors they could have taken on at any given point of time, and their skill levels. I would like to kind of end this small information with the names which were given to Krishna. Krishna was given around 40 names in the Gita, and around 40 names to Arjuna. Now the entire source of all this information is one book by Rupa, the Gita for Children. So thank you so much.